Well, renters who were hoping to pay less for apartments or condos may have to pay the premium now. The average cost of a one-bedroom suite rose to $2,200 per month between April and July.
So to help us make sense of what's taking shape in the GTA housing market, we're joined by Sean Hildebrand, president of Urbanation. Sean, good morning. Thanks for joining us. So I guess the most startling thing about this report is that there is this huge discrepancy or deviation between rental demand and supply.
Yeah, that's right. The results showed very strong growth in rents in the the second quarter of this year. Rents were up 17% from where we were at this time last year. The average rent for condos across the GTA was $2,500 a month and rising very quickly. And to your point, very strong demand. We're seeing a reacceleration in population in the GTA. Population is also flowing back into the core as offices are reopening, recreation and businesses are opening, students are returning back to in-class learning. And on the supply side, we're simply just not building enough. And there's been very, very strong demand and supply frictions in the marketplace. So, very good news if you're a landlord, but some pretty troubling news if you're out there looking to find a new rental apartment.
And Sean, is it fair to say that this is connected in part to the way interest rates have gone in the last couple of months here with the central bank, raising them so significantly that mortgages are becoming less affordable, so potentially you're taking some buyers out of the market and making them renters?
Yeah, for sure. And actually, this was one of the first times over the last decade that we've seen rents rise faster than prices. And I think that just goes to show you how the ownership market is starting to become much more unaffordable. When we calculated the average cost of owning the same size rental unit, that gap between owning and renting was over $600 a month in the second quarter. And with interest rates having risen a full 100 basis points more recently, you're looking at paying over $1,100 more to own compared to rent the exact same unit in the GTA. So with interest rates rising, prices still high. They've come off a little bit. It's really pushed more first-time buyers that would have otherwise gotten into the ownership market into the rental market.
And Sean, what kind of rental units are the most popular? Now, I'm reading from your report that it's those studios plus dens or one bedrooms plus dens. Anything with a den is good. Is that because it's considered kind of a separate unit or bedroom, but you don't have to pay full price for that 2-bedroom or 3-bedroom?
Yeah, I think that's part of it. When you look at the average rent today versus, the previous market high pre-pandemic, which was around the third quarter of 2019, the units that have appreciated the most over the last 3 years or so have been those units that contain dens, so 1+ dens, 2+ dens. I think people working from home and continuing to work from home in sort of a hybrid model more frequently are opting for units with extra space that they can, accommodate a work from home environment. So those units have been very popular throughout the pandemic. If you compare where we are today versus where we were a year ago, the fastest appreciating unit type is the smallest unit type, studios and small one-bedroom apartments. And I think that really is related to the fact that these unit types declined the most during the first year of the pandemic, because a lot of people were fleeing those smaller spaces in the core because they weren't going into the office as much. They didn't need to be right downtown. But with things reopening and rental prices getting more and more expensive, we're seeing that renters are flocking towards those small units again, and they're becoming very, very expensive. The average rent for a studio apartment right now has risen above $1,900 a month, so that's growing very quickly.
Wow.
Okay, Sean, we're a little tight on time, so if I can get just a quick answer here. Is there any sense in the next little while that the trends may turn the other way, or do you only see things going one way at this point?
I think things will sustain. I think the rental market is heating up, and I think that's going to continue. I don't see much of a change when I look at the outlook for demand and supply right now, unfortunately.
Okay, well, appreciate this reality check here. Sean Hildebrand, president of Urbanation. Thanks for letting us know about these numbers and the reasons why. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you.